we're doing supplement chews.
Oh, excellent.
So there'll
And
be
we are live.
great.
So we'll wait for a couple of people to jump on. We're broadcasting on the Healthy Dog Expo page, the Dr. Lori Koger page, and on YouTube. So we should get a cross section of folks.
Great.
And let me move over to my screen here. There we have a couple people jumping on. Welcome. Please leave us a comment so we know who's here. Sometimes there is a bit of a lag with comments, so if we don't answer you quickly, it's because you haven't popped up yet. All right. Well, welcome everyone to another one of the series of the Healthy Dog Expo Facebook Lives. Hello, Janet and Janine. My guest today is Wendy Shankin-Cohen from Dr. Harvey's. I'm thrilled to have Wendy again. We've talked now once or twice before, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And every time I learn something new about what it takes to put out a quality dog food. It's just
thank you for having
much.
And welcome
Yes.
everyone.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
So 2023, here we are with a new year, and you have just had some exciting news. You've moved into a new facility.
We have, and it is really exciting, very challenging, but we're finally up and running. We actually made the transition in September, but it's taken, actually yesterday, we finally had a sink installed that we've been trying to have installed. Wow. Going through. So you'd think that the sink was the easiest part. It was actually quite difficult, but it's a much, much larger facility, and we're thrilled to have made this move. We needed to move 2 years ago, but when the pandemic hit, it became impossible to find air-conditioned warehouse space. We're in New Jersey, and it's a very tight market in real estate here. So we're very fortunate to find this space. So we've moved to a 33,000 square foot facility. And I was telling Dr. Koger before we went live that our problem, which is a great problem to have, is that we just couldn't make the products fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the space to store all of our ingredients, and this new facility has opened up all kinds of possibilities for us. So we're thrilled to be here, and we're very happy to have settled in.
That's fantastic. 33,000 square feet is a huge space.
It is.
But you have machinery that blends, mixes, packages. So I imagine that takes up a huge amount of space.
It does, but the majority of the space is used for storage
of ingredients,
of the blended food. Everything is blended by hand still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have boxes of raw material, and we have people that take those boxes and blend them into our formula. And then that goes into a big hopper, and that then goes into a mixing machine, and then the mixing machine goes into a filling machine. So it's quite a process to go through.
That is awesome, though, that it comes out and human hands started it.
Absolutely. It's all done by hand.
You adhere to human standards in your plant as well.
We do. We follow all the cleaning processes that are the same as in a human plant, because we use only human grade ingredients, and the cleaning processes are exactly the same as any human plant. We try to hold ourselves to those standards, even though a pet manufacturer doesn't have to do that. We feel it's really critical to have those very, very high standards for our foods.
Well, and my people that are on here today obviously have high standards for their pets. Janet says Dr. Harvey's is my go-to for friends who want to step into fresh food feeding. And I think that's one of the real strengths of your product line, is anybody can dive in, whether they want to use your complete products or whether they want to add their own proteins and fats. You just make it easy to feed fresh.
Well, that's always been our goal. We were just chatting about this, how it can be pretty daunting to go from feeding kibble to to a homemade meal, and people get kind of scared off of it. They think it's either scary that they're not giving their dog the right thing, or it's too much work. And there's lots of reasons, lots of barriers to entry, as we say, for people who want to make the switch, but they're afraid. And it's always been our goal to make that process an easy process so that we take the fear out of it. And we also make it easy. You can make the meals ahead of time. And if you don't make them ahead of time, you can, it's really 10 minutes and you've got this.
At the most, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my colleagues scare people about feeding fresh food, that they'll shortchange their dogs or what have you, my veterinary colleagues. And they can't believe when I talk to some conventional vets that there is something that is just is nutritionally complete, and you just add the prescribed amount of meat. They haven't opened their minds to this sort of product even existing, let alone being human quality.
Yeah, even though we have videos, we talk through it. Of course, we have nutritional panels on all of our packaging. We need to be able to meet and exceed AFCO standards, which we do. So there really shouldn't be that fear.
Yeah.
But, you know, they have all been taught that kibble is complete and that dog food is what you should feed dogs. And even when they see the results of feeding a fresh meal and see these dogs that they've written off as too sick to help, they see the dogs come back into the practice and they've gotten better. And the pet parent says, but look, I fed Dr. Harvey's and my dog got better. They still are skeptical.
Yeah. And I think it's almost like we go into veterinary school and you're inundated, of course, by the big companies. And it just seeps into your pores, and that's what you believe. And it's hard for many conventional vets to open their minds.
Yeah, it is. And also the big companies are supporting all of the studies that the vets learn. And not only that, they support, they give them free food while they're in veterinary school and lots of money for extracurricular activities. So it's hard for them to step out of their comfort zone and look at something new. But listen, we've been around for over 30 years. And believe me, when we started 30 years ago, people really thought we were crazy. And it wasn't just the vets, it was the pet parents. But over the years, we've just stayed with our mission to teach people how to feed fresh. And the proof has been in the pudding. Dogs have gotten healthy. Hear every single day these wonderful, wonderful stories from the people that have transitioned to Dr. Harvey's and seen these amazing results with their pets. And their dogs have gotten healthy. Their birds have gotten healthy. And it's really been, it's very, very rewarding from our every day, even though we've been doing it.
Yeah. Well, and sorry, I hit this a little fast. Amy brings up a different use, because so many people start off on Dr. Harvey's and then move on to the total DIY. Other people alternate between. But her use of Dr. Harvey's for fiber to balance the microbiome, I think, is ingenious. And you are hands down the most convenient source of quality vegetables to add to a meal. It's perfect.
That's a great comment. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, we love Raw Vibrance for exactly that reason. It really helps people who want to feed raw feel confident that what they're doing is a complete meal. Got the pre and probiotics right in there. You've got eggshell membrane, which we're big fans of, and other superfoods, mushrooms, things like that we find to be so important for immune system, for joint health, heart health. We really we're very proud of that particular product.
And when did Raw Vibrance come into being? Do you recall?
I don't remember. It's only a few years old, I think.
Is it? What was the first vegetable? Was the first, I believe?
The first was Canine Health.
Oh, Canine Health. Okay.
Canine Health was the first. And then the two vegetables came after that. Paradigm after that, and then Raw Vibrance. As far as the base mixes, Raw Vibrance is the newest of the base mixes.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Paradigm. And Paradigm is ultra low carb, right?
Correct. So Paradigm was really created in order to be a low carb for people who wanted to feed a keto diet.
The style diet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keto style diet. We have a lot of diabetic dogs who use Paradigm successfully.
Hmm.
We have a lot of cancer dogs who use Paradigm successfully. And just people who want their dog to lose weight or just want to stay with a very low carb diet. A lot of dogs really just love it. And then of course we have people who alternate. You know, they'll use raw vibrance. That's what I do with my dog.
Yeah.
I'll use raw vibrance for a month and then I'll switch over to canine health. And my dog fortunately does well on all of them.
Hmm.
He's a
Well,
7.
and I think rotation like that supports so much health in the digestive tract. Feeding that variety of foods on a constant basis is my preferred way.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to do that with my dog. My dog is a 7-year-old Doberman Pinscher. He looks like he's 2.
Mhm.
People don't believe it when I tell them he's 7. And he does really well on all of them. And I, of course, rotate proteins. I rotate
Sure.
oils. And he, fortunately, he's not a picky eater, so he'll eat all of
Mhm.
them. But I think each one of them has a particular benefit. So I think that you're absolutely right that the rotation is a nice thing if you can do it.
Definitely. So Diane runs a boarding kennel, and she is a fan, obviously. And her golden client was bald.
Wow.
And again, these dogs that cannot handle ultra processed foods, you get them on something like Dr. Harvey's, and it's mind blowing.
Oh, that's so nice.
It
Thank
is.
you,
Thanks,
Diane, for
Diane.
sharing. That's incredible. And, of course, we see that with lots and lots of conditions.
Mhm.
We've become as the go-to for kidney disease. Um, and we've just done so well with these dogs who come in with very, very high kidney numbers, and we're able to bring those numbers down. Sometimes they don't even show up as having a kidney issue after they've been
Mhm.
on food for a couple of months, even though vets will tell you can never normalize kidney disease. We have just not found that to be true.
No, I mean, you may architecturally never normalize the kidney, but function improves so much on Dr. Harvey's, and the ability to control the amount of moisture you put in there and force hydration on some of these dogs that don't want to drink is vital.
Yeah,
And yet the prescription foods want to feed them something that's 90% dry.
yeah,
It just makes
yeah,
no sense to me. Not
yeah.
at all. And
Not
I
to
get I
either.
get dogs producing such concentrated urine, and even worse with cats, that, it's no wonder they're loaded with crystals and bacteria and such, because they're peeing maybe once a day. They're just not producing any sort of urine.
Yeah, the high moisture content is really key, I think, and just giving them real food. They
Yeah.
just they just begin to thrive. And as we were talking earlier, sometimes people go into their vet and they see the numbers have come down, and the vet will say, "I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing,
Keep
keep doing
doing
it,"
it.
because
Exactly.
the dog has gotten better. And it's remarkable. It's really remarkable. We've seen dogs that have just refused to eat, that are really lethargic and uh, really having a hard time, look like they're on their way out, who just
Mhm.
kind of come back to life.
It's amazing. It's totally amazing. So now what else besides your new facility? What else does 2023 have in store?
So we have a bunch of things, and we always have some things on the
You're
on
always
the
cooking
burner.
new things. Yeah.
Uh, we have a new complete food that we're going to be coming out with this
Ooh.
year. It's done, but we're going to bring it out probably in a month or two, and
Mhm.
um, that's exciting for us. And the thing that's going to come out the closest, and this is the first time that I've said this live, so
Ooh, it's exclusive
um,
here.
you guys are the exclusive preview, because it's not been announced at all, but we are coming out with a line of supplemental chews that are treats but also functional, and that should be early March.
And what sort of supplements? What's the
So we've
purpose?
been working on this for over a year now.
Mhm.
There's one that's a immune boost probiotic supplement.
Nice.
One is for I've got to think now, immune boost. Then there's one for digestion,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is a joint supplement.
Joint supplement.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
Yes.
So that'll be soon.
There'll be others that we add as we go forward, but we wanted to kind of dip our toe in this market.
Yeah.
We do make a complete line of supplements now, but they're all powders, and they're quite popular. These are foods that you add. These are supplements that you add to food. These are more treats.
Okay. So hand your dog to or what have you for
Right.
whatever
But they
poundage.
have they really are functional, and they've got the ingredient list we're very, very proud of it. We've worked hard on it.
I can't wait to hold it in my hand.
Yeah, very soon. I make sure to send some to you as soon as we have it. I
That's-
don't have it yet, but
Yeah.
we're just finishing up the labels and, of course, running it by the NASC to make sure that everything is compliant.
Mm-hmm.
For those who may not know what the NASC is, it's the National Association of Supplement Council, and this is a very interesting group that certifies pet companies who make supplements to make sure that we comply with all of their regulatory rules. And we have been certified for 2 years. We have to pass a very intense audit, as well as them checking every label that we make to make sure that we comply. And that allows us to put their seal on all of our supplements, which we do. And anytime you see that seal on us or on any other supplement, you know that they have gone through a very, very rigorous audit in order to use that seal. So you can feel very confident in buying a supplement that has the NASC seal on it.
Yeah, that's really important. It's kind of an oval shaped logo that you'll see tucked on the corner of the label. And I tell people that's a requirement if they're buying a product. Yeah. I want them to have that seal on there. Janet, or actually Diane, no, it was Janet, had a question that I wanted your take on. So she uses an 80-10-10 mix, 80% muscle meat, 10% organ, 10% bone, and that she has easy access to.
Right, which is important.
It's very important. So can you use Dr. Harvey's with something that is 10% bone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you want to call us and speak to one of our people online, they can go through it and tell you how to adjust the base mixes to make that work for you.
So you don't go over on your minerals.
Yep.
Oh, that's perfect. Because a lot of people do have access to an 80-10-10.
Which is great.
Yeah. Again, fresh, whole foods.
Yeah.
Debbie likes your rabbit bites. Rabbit is a really interesting protein. How did you come to use rabbit?
Well, the rabbit became available to us. Often we have to choose from what we can get that meets our standards, which isn't always that easy because we're looking for freeze-dried, and it has to be a human grade. So to find human grade rabbit is not easy, particularly in the United States. So, we see what's available and make sure that it meets all of our requirements. It can't have any dyes or coloring agents, can't be fed anything that's unhealthy. There can't be any chemicals in their diet, all of those things that we have to pass. And then we work on palatability, and we actually tested, I think, probably 10 different proteins, and rabbit came up really, really high in terms of palatability. So we like it because it's a very lean protein. It's also very, very healthy for dogs.
Yeah, and a lot of our food allergic or food sensitive dogs can tolerate rabbit.
Exactly.
They haven't had that much of it.
So they may have a beef or chicken allergy, but they can use our salmon and rabbit bites. I love them too, and my dog just would kill for them. So
yeah, definitely.
We hope to be expanding the treat line as well in the near future.
Yeah, and I think you have chicken hearts, don't you? That
we do have chicken hearts. Chicken hearts that's a winner. That's a winner.
Yeah,
I don't know
without a doubt in my house.
if anybody has been who's listening has used them, but I actually have to hide them from my dog, and everybody tells me the same thing.
Mm,
The chicken hearts your dog will do just about anything to get one of them.
yeah.
They're healthy, they're lean, and the palatability, dogs just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's really funny when I get different products in to try. My first criteria is when I carry them in the house, are my dogs curious about it? And they were very curious about those. And what else did I have? Oh, I had actually I was sent some frozen grind from another company. And I walked in and the meat was frozen and I'm unpacking it and they were all over it. And it's like, they aren't all over it when I bring home meat from the grocery store. But there was something in this that they were very interested in.
A good sign. And with treats, of course, you really want them to be motivating. So
Yes.
the chicken hearts have been a huge winner for us. And people love our sweet potato chews, which are nice, but actually my dog is not a huge fan.
Of sweet potato chews.
Give him meat all the time. Anything having with protein.
Yeah, definitely. Would you ever get into more like dental chew type products?
It's funny that you would ask. We're actually researching that
Are you
as we
researching?
speak.
Because I had a client in today. What can I do? What can I provide? She was giving the dog probably 4 greenies a day.
Yeah.
And I was
Not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I
We're
don't.
going in a very different direction with the dental chews. Of
Good.
course, the truth is that if you feed Dr. Harvey's or any homemade or raw diet, you don't have the same issues with your dog's teeth,
Correct.
except the myth that says that kibble cleans dogs' teeth, which of course we know is not true. Um, Really, gums and teeth stay relatively healthy on most
Mhm.
dogs that are eating a fresh whole food diet.
Yes,
But we
definitely.
do love the idea of something that will take the extra tartar off the teeth, and we are working on that. But of course, it has to have clean ingredients, and
Right.
um, finding that where we can get that made for us to meet our standards. Again, it's
Yeah.
always a lot of research and development.
Yeah, but definitely there is a huge need for something that's a crossover, dental recreational chew.
Yes, absolutely, and we are. It's funny that you would mention that because
Yeah.
something I've been working on for a couple months now.
And people, I have clients go in the supermarket and they see an assortment of dental chews that are made from, rice powder and glycerin and whatever else. And there's one made from potatoes, and if you put it in the microwave, it puffs up if you want it
Oh,
bigger. Yeah, sounds a little crazy.
yeah,
Um,
I'm not familiar with that one.
yeah, and they're not good for the dogs. And the same thing with the greenies. There are numerous reports of eager chewers snapping a greenie in half and it getting stuck in the intestine.
Yes, I've read stories of the greenies getting gunky in the intestines and
Yeah,
causing problem.
so her second go-to chew was bully sticks, which I'm also not really a fan of, and then rawhides. And no,
Yeah.
there's great need.
Well,
So
the reason we many years ago came out with the sweet potato chews was an alternative to rawhide because
yeah.
of all the issues surrounding rawhide. And there's lots and lots. I mean, we sell a
Mhm.
lot of sweet potato chews. So
Oh
there
yeah,
are dogs that love them.
yeah. And a sweet potato, I've dehydrated various squashes and such to a chew consistency, and the dogs do enjoy them. My guys do anyway.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Debbie Cunningham, who says that Dr.
Oh,
Harvey's customer service is second to none. Um,
yes.
my team they're just the best. They're just the best people. They are so dedicated to us and to the pet parents that call us. We have an amazing service. There's so many people that call us every day or email us, and they're having an issue with their dog. And
Mhm.
my team are the most patient, loving, caring. They're all extraordinary dog people who will talk people off the ledge when they're um, just feel like they've they have no alternatives, and help them. And if they don't know the answer, they'll research it for them.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate that, Debbie, that you mentioned that team, because I have to tell you, they're terrific people.
Well, and good customer service is almost as important as a quality product when it comes down to staying in business uh, for any length of time. If you don't take good care of your people, they're not coming back to purchase from you.
Well, we're very fortunate that we have a very loyal following.
Yes.
You know, we always say once you use Dr. Harvey's, you're not going to go back to anything else.
Yeah.
And so we really feel like it's a family, and everybody who uses is sort of like, I know something you don't know. But the women that are in the customer service team are just the most dedicated. You've met Lori, who comes to the
Sure.
healthy workshop. She calls people back on weekends. She'll call them at 11 o'clock at night if there's an issue. You know, they're just really dedicated. It's not customer service in the traditional sense, but it is a very, very important part of the company, and very, very, because we see ourselves as educators.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's not just about selling product. It is really about educating people that there's a different way to feed your dog or your bird and or your cat,
Yeah.
and we can help you get there. And we guide people. We really do help to guide them on that path.
Well, and that's why you're here taking time out on a Tuesday afternoon to be available for people.
Well, it's always my pleasure to do that.
Speaking of which, Janet has a question. Your omega-3s. She wants more info.
So the omega-3s, we have actually 3 products. They're all called Health and Shine. One is a salmon and krill oil, and the other is, we call the omega-3s, which is all sort of small fish oil. They're all human consumption, very sustainably made. They're all the fish comes from Iceland. And to make a complete meal when you're using the base mixes, we always recommend adding the omega-3s. So it's a large part of I mean, certainly if you use our complete foods, you can add it as well. Super healthy for any dog. But yeah, it's a big part of making a complete meal in our estimation. Very important for joint health, heart health, for eye care, just extremely important.
Any neuro and tissue support is omega-3s are fabulous for.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't see that last.
Oh, I didn't mean to pull that one up. She was glad to know about your customer service comment. I was aiming for Trish's question, this is a new question, Trish. I've not seen anybody ask this one yet. The best way to store a bag. Now, your bags have a nice Ziploc seal.
They do. Great question. And what makes using our base mixes so easy is that you do not need to refrigerate the bags when they're open. Everything is either freeze dried or dehydrated, will last at least 18 months on the shelf. We hope that you don't keep it that long, but certainly will last. And you really can keep it in just in a cupboard or on your shelf, as long as it remains dry. So you just want to make sure you really seal that Ziploc, or put it into another container that's airtight, and you keep it in a cool, you don't want to put it in the sun, a cool, dry place, and it will keep it from being rancid.
Easy. That's ideal.
And there's no fat in there, so the rancidity, it really doesn't.
It's low. Yeah. The fat is coming from the fresh meat that you put in with the base,
and the oils that
you'll add. If someone is using a very fatty meat, should they also add oil or adjust the oil in any way?
No, and we do recommend using meat with the fat. The saturated fat for dogs is different than for humans, where we're always told, eat lean, eat lean. It's not the same for dogs. But we do recommend fish oil, at least in the rotation. So we do recommend rotating oils. So you can use flaxseed oil, coconut oil. You can switch it up, but we do think the fish oil needs to be in the rotation because of the omegas. because dogs won't absorb that from anything but fish. You can add sardines, fresh sardines, you can add mackerel, any fatty fish, but it is important to use the fish oil. And even if you're using a fatty cut of beef or chicken with the skin, we still recommend the fish oil.
Good, good. I'm thinking, especially chicken, given it's so high in omega-6.
Yeah.
I would almost say I would require the fish oil then. Diane, and I'm not familiar with this one of your products at all. So tell us about the vitamin mineral supplement.
So if you're using one of our base mixes and making it according to our directions, you do not need to use the multivitamin and mineral supplement. The multivitamin mineral supplement is really for people that are feeding kibble and want to beef up their kibble in some way. So it wouldn't hurt your dog to use it because these are whole food supplements. They're really just really great ingredients that have lots of vitamins and minerals.
We're not talking about a synthetic
vitamin
mineral mix at all here.
No.
Good. Like that. So your supplement line will be broadening. The treat line will be maybe 2024, possibly.
I think the treat line will probably be expanding in 2023. That's my goal. I'm always a little bit anxious to get new things out there. We always have something percolating in our minds. We, truthfully, we listen to our customers. Our customers are the ones that direct us. They'll say, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Just like you mentioned, the dental chews. People always say, we trust Dr. Harvey's, and we know that if you make a product, it's going to be healthy. And how about if you make this? And we do listen. We really listen to our customers and try to produce what they need and want for their animals. It's not always possible, and right now things are very difficult. I was telling you earlier that getting the ingredients has become a tremendous challenge. The price of our ingredients has gone through the roof, as with everything else. Everyone is aware that we use egg. The egg prices have gone through the roof, and all of the freeze-dried meats that we use, which are completely pure before they're freeze-dried, they've doubled and tripled in price last 2 years. So trying to make a product that, we don't want to price ourselves out of the market or make it a ridiculous investment for our pet parents. We try to keep it down, but we won't compromise on the quality. So it's a little bit of a balancing act.
Yeah. And I think everybody that follows you appreciates that you're not going to cut corners.
We can't. We won't, and we can't.
No. Janet took a little side tour around your website. And I've noticed that too, that, wow, there's a lot more on here, a lot more offerings.
Yeah, I think we actually make about 45 different products.
Is it that many?
Yeah.
Wow.
We also make grooming aids. We have organic shampoo and the spray that we use for, it's an alternative to insecticides. We also make a wonderful ear wash product that pet parents love for cleaning their ears, that has no alcohol. It's extremely soothing. And we have a healing cream that everybody should have in their first aid kit that really helps with getting, any kind of hot spots, rashes, cuts, scrapes, noses, toes, very healthy.
Janet was asking earlier, and this is kind of a follow-up to her first question. People with new puppy. And she was also asking earlier if you will formulate something specifically for a puppy diet.
So that's very challenging to come up with something that's specifically for puppies because we have to follow AAFCO's guidelines. But what we do recommend is canine health, and that's from weaning. It's a very easy food to wean puppies onto. We have a lot of breeders who wean their pups onto canine health because you can make it in so many different ways. You can add enough calcium so the puppies are
Mhm.
healthy. We do have in the feeding guidelines that come with Canine Health, we do have a puppy formula. So
Okay.
that would be the number one
That,
product that we would recommend for
yeah.
puppies up to 18 months. And then you can switch to vegetable or paradigm or
Or
any of
what
the other
have you.
base mix.
And any of the supplements, obviously omega-3s are big with me, and certainly for puppies for supporting healthy brain development and everything. Those omega-3s are super important.
That would absolutely be in the feeding guidelines. It's part of the feeding
Oh,
guidelines.
that's good. Good.
But we also make something called Formative Years, which is a
Mm.
supplement, a powdered supplement that you can add to Canine Health. A lot of times we have a lot of rescue groups that use it because the
Mhm.
puppies are not so healthy sometimes when they're born in
True.
shelter, and they want to boost their immune system, and they use the Formative Years very successfully.
Okay. One to check out. Tracy commented on your healing cream.
I'll tell you a funny story about the healing cream. We've been making it it's one of our first products, actually. We just reformulated and put it in a tube. It used to be in a little pot. And when my children were growing up, I used it for everything from diaper rash to
Oh, wow.
grapes. And whenever my kids would get hurt or burned or a sunburn or anything, they would come in and they would say, I want to use daddy's cream. I want to use daddy's cream. So obviously Dr. Harvey
Oh.
is their father, and that's what we called it around daddy's cream. Yeah, it's a
Well,
great
it's nice to have human quality products.
I use it on my hands all the time. It's
Yeah.
my go-to hand cream at night. It's got a lot of calendula in it, which I love.
Sure.
And you will see things like red spots. You put it on, the next day it's gone.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. No, it truly works. Thanks for all the love, you guys. It's
Guys,
lovely.
yeah, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So one more thing on happening in 2023. Did you tell me? Did we cover all of these?
Yeah, I think
We did.
we're trying to do a lot of things with education. It's
Yeah.
actually finding the time when you're in production all the time. But we would like to be, we built out a studio where we hope to be doing
Oh,
videotapes that we can post on our YouTube channel that will help pet parents learn to make the food easily and well. Lots of instructional videos. We're really trying to get there. And it is a goal of mine to make that happen in 2023. And we just brought someone on board who hopefully will be able to take that project in hand. It's a wish for me.
yeah.
There's a lot of day in and day out just to make sure that the products get out the door. So we'll see, but it's certainly a goal.
That's an important goal. And the more we can get this information into the mainstream, I think YouTube is the perfect spot to do it. Where people who don't want to deal with Facebook don't have to. And YouTube is so easy. So genius idea.
We've always thought of ourselves as educators, and that's why we spend so much time talking to people on the phone. It's why we attend the Healthy Dog Expo.
Mhm.
It's why we go to the Holistic Veterinary Conference every
Right.
year, and have been going for 30 odd years to that conference because we want to educate the veterinarians as well.
Mhm.
So that's a big part of our mission, not just to make great products, but to educate people, to keep dogs healthy. And we know the only way to do that is to educate them. So we're just always looking for ways to do that. And of course, the internet has helped. It's also hurt.
Mhm.
So, we have to combat the other side of the
Misinformation that's spread.
misinformation.
Yeah.
And we're working towards that goal as best we can.
Yeah. Debbie had one quick question. I think I know my answer, but I'll let you take a shot. Your oils have a 90-day expiration date. And she's had some that did not smell or anything. So she's questioning that.
I mean, you can always tell when an oil is rancid. It has that smell that I'm sure we're all familiar with. I actually keep the oils once I open them. They're shelf stable until you open it. I actually keep my oil in the refrigerator.
I do too. I feel better that I can slow down the process
Yeah.
of
I have a big
regulation.
dog, so I go through a bottle way faster than 90 days. But if you're feeding smaller dogs, looks like you're feeding collies or Shelties,
Shelties.
um, you may not go through it in 90 days. I mean, I think that's all expiration dates are a kind of around that date.
Mhm.
You can use it in 90 days, that's great. But if it doesn't have a rancid smell, I think it's probably fine.
Perfect. Perfect. So as we're coming up on the hour, we'll be wrapping it up. If anybody else has a question, please just dive in real quick. So we were talking earlier about the expo, and you were so busy last year, your people didn't get to come to the talks,
Yes.
which was the whole reason a couple were attending. So you're going to send some extra people up this year, right?
Hopefully we'll be able to do that. Yeah, they love going. My team loves being at the expo. We meet so many great people and teach new people about our products, but we love it. But I did send our food scientist, who was fairly new to our team, hoping that she would hear some of the lectures. And when she came back, she said she was too busy at the table. She couldn't tear herself away to get to the lectures. So yes, I hopefully will be able to send a larger team up this year. It's a great event.
Yes. And you guys, well, looking at some of the names here, I know that you've already purchased your tickets, but tell your friends. And I'm going to share one other exclusive news item, which I just found out today. Multi-Radiance Lasers has come on board as a sponsor, and they will be giving us a laser to gift to one lucky attendee. That is a $4,000 value, which is mind-boggling to me. They said, would you like this? Of course I would like this. So the deal is getting sweeter every day at the expo.
That's
So
great.
yeah. So if my teammates can pop in, Diane says, Diane wants it. You never know, Diane, you'll have a ticket in there.
Somebody just mentioned our runs be done, Diane.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of clients that use Runs Be Done. And they're like, I don't need any metronidazole or anything else. I have Dr. Harvey's.
That's great to hear.
You know what you should put together is like your essentials kit. You mentioned a first aid kit with the cream. It's like you need my dog's going traveling kit with Runs Be Done and cream and what have you.
That's a great idea. It's a great idea. I mean, I know most pet parents will not be without having a jar of Runs Be Done just.
Well, and especially during times of stress like travel.
Yeah.
Or, they come back from boarding and they have diarrhea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But it is incredibly popular amongst my people at the practice. So, highly recommend.
That's nice to hear. Yeah, our supplements actually are very popular because they work.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell, that is it. Things that work, everybody likes.
They actually make a difference. I mean, we see Solaris, which is our mushroom formula, has become extremely popular. And, all of them, the senior formula, our Golden Years and our Orthoflex, they actually really work so that a pet parent can see the difference, and they're happy to use it when they see that the health is improving.
That they're getting results.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think of my other clients that go to the pet store and just buy something off the shelf, and they're disappointed that they got no response from it. But they're not getting the quality product that you produce.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for the person who brought that up. This is great.
Definitely.
There's so many people watching Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, and the number of people who will watch this on replay is impressive. And the numbers that I'm seeing, are just the Facebook numbers. So there's more out there than we know. So I know I can't take too much more of your time. So thank you, Wendy, for taking the time out and talking with us and sharing all the new things that are happening in 2023.
It's my great pleasure. And if anybody ever has questions, you can call our toll-free number, which is listed on our website. You can also comment on Instagram or
You said
email.
you have an active Instagram.
We do have an active Instagram. They also can email. We answer all of our emails, the thousands of emails that we get. It's just info@drharveys.com.
Right.
And you can always email a question and you will get a response.
And all those links are on the website if you can't navigate to them directly.
We love hearing from all of you. So please don't be strangers.
Definitely not. Thank you again. And thank you guys for stopping in. I will be back on Friday with Olivier from 1TDC talking about some exciting stuff that's going on with that product. And we'll see you all at the expo. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.